Hello everyone, welcome to another video on unknown literature. Today we're going to be looking at the seventh topic. This is one of my favorite, and I think it will be something that all of you, us modern students will be able to resonate with more than some of the other topics that we've looked at. Today we're going to be looking at the literary journey of one of the most fascinating and enduring forms of storytelling, the travelogue. For centuries, travelogues have been providing readers with first-hand accounts of distant lands, of exotic cultures, and grand adventures, and from medieval explorers charting the unknown to modern-day travel bloggers that share their experiences online with YouTube. Travelogue is an essential medium of storytelling, of knowledge-based sharing, and cultural exchanges as well. But what exactly is it? Why is it so influential? And how do we bridge the gap between reality and imagination? And how does it shape our perception of the world? Let's dive right into what a travelogue is. A travelogue is simply a narrative that details a journey, and it often blends personal experience, geographical descriptions, and cultural observations. These works have been around for centuries, and it evolves from ancient reports of distant lands to modern travel blogs and documentaries. A key feature in it is, first of all, a personal perspective. It is written from the traveler's point of view. It captures the traveler's emotions, the traveler's discoveries and experiences, and their reflections. It is also often very descriptive because they are traveling to a whole new land and they have so much reporting that they want to share. There are rich descriptions of landscapes, of cities, of customs, and of people. We also have travelogues that are really factually based. It is a factual reporting combined with some exaggerations or imaginative elements that enhance storytelling, especially in literature. And travelogues were so important because it continues to bridge the cultural gap and exposes readers to foreign lands and customs. Like if you're living in a corner of the world, you have little to no knowledge of what other people are doing on the opposite side. Yet if you go on online today and you look at a travel vlog to Canada, for example, even if you live in a completely far off country in Europe, you can know what Canada is like. And so it inspires exploration. It tells us about all these different countries, all these distant lands, and it is really the travelogues that we're going to be looking at today, popular from ancient times and throughout the 18th and 19th century, is a comprehensive literary phenomenon through which we can look at the age of discovery, all the way in the ancient days to the age of colonialism and colonial expansion. It is also a early way in which scientific and historical knowledge were preserved and shaped. It contributed to geography, anthropology, and trade. And yeah, we're going to be looking at one of the earliest forms of travelogues in history, the travels of Marco Polo and Gulliver's Travel, both of which I believe that you guys are familiar with as well. Yeah, so let's look into Marco Polo's 13th century travelogue. This remains one of the most influential works of its kind. Written while Polo was imprisoned in Genoa, the Travels of Marco Polo recounts his journey across Asia that includes his time at the court of the Mongolian Empire of Kublai Khan. And these travels are very, very famous because at the time, European readers did not know about the East. They didn't know about all the Venetian merchants, for example. They didn't know about all the riches and wonders of Asia. They didn't know about China. They didn't know about all these vast lands in the East. And really, this was an introduction to the wonders of Asia that showed China's advanced culture, trade, and technology at the time, for example. It showed the fantastical elements blended with historical facts as well, and it kept the readers both informed and entertained. And so really, because the readers were not aware of all these separate lands, they were able to add fantastical elements that captures the readers' imaginations, and it really impacted future explorers like Christopher Columbus, for example, who carried a copy of Polo's travelogue, in fact, as he went on his travel eventually to find the American continent. And yeah, the key themes here are cultural exchanges. Polo also talks about European accounts in silk, spices, paper money, and postal systems that existed in the East at the time. There's also some descriptions of very wild things like giant birds of Madagascar, something possibly a real bird, but also something like an elephant bird that blur the lines between fact and fiction. And yeah, Polo just also wasn't just a traveler. He was also a diplomat at the Mongol court, and he showcased his political significance. He showcased the political significance of travel through his work. Um, a famous quote is, "I did not write half of what I saw, for I knew I would not be believed." This reflects the sense of wonder and disbelief that he must have felt, the readers must have felt when encountering Polo's like journey. The crazy things that they could not even imagine in real life, right? The bridging of reality and myth, again sparking curiosity about the unknown. And so Marco Polo's travelogue really changed historical perceptions of how we understand the world, especially because at the time, many European people did not know about the East, didn't know about all the different countries, and in a sense, Marco Polo's literature like this gave rise to interest about the East, about colonial expansion as well. Not that he is to blame for any of this, but that these cultural and literary and historical phenomenon are interlinked together, mutually affecting one another. Just a bit about who Marco Polo was. He was a traveler, a merchant, and also a diplomat who traveled extensively through Asia. Born in 1454, so he lived in like way back in the 13th century. He went to a lot of different countries. He became one of the most influential writers at the time. He dictated to Rosciello de Pisa while he was in prison even. And yeah, although some of his details of some of his writings are contentious, some people are like, oh, he made a lot of stuff up. Or, because current day Asia is widely different from Asia back in the 12,000s. There is a lot of controversy, but still, Paulo's narrative really set the standard for travelogue as a literary form, and it is definitely to be gratified about. It's like, if it wasn't for him, maybe travelogues wouldn't be as popular today as it is right now. We have another example. This one's even more famous, perhaps, and it is The Gulliver's Travel by Jonathan Swift. This book was published in 1726, and this is a complete fiction, so it's kind of a parody of traditional travelogues, and it follows the journey of Lemel Gulliver and to a bizarre land called Lilliput, that is a land of tiny people, and Brobdingnag, a land of giants. And so it really mimicked real actual travelogues. It read like a factual account of what happened, and it was kind of a satire. It was very effective because it was genuinely like a travelogue. And Swift used Gulliver's experiences to criticize European society, colonialism, the corruption, and yeah, he was delivering a lot of sharp social commentary as well. He was also blending adventure with profound observations about power, ethics, and human flaws that prevailed through European society at the time. And so, yeah, it was very interesting because he was able to blend a kind of the dark subject of a society's problem with very imaginary lenses and a very adventure kind of narrative. A quote here is, "I cannot but conclude that the bulk of your natives to be the most pernicious race of little odious vermin that nature ever suffered to crawl upon the face of this universe." And this is a scathing, bitter critique that reflects Swift's use of travel to highlight human arrogance and political hypocrisy. It's like, I have never seen a race like you. Your natives are just pernicious race of little odious vermin. these kind of racial, even geographical discrimination, a lot of the isolation between these different communities is something that we can see through Gulliver's travelogue. And so, yeah, these travelogues are not, again, mere factual accounts. They are literary masterpieces that challenge societal norms that are present. Yeah, and so travelogues continue to impact how people view the world today. Oh, just a bit about Jonathan Swift. Jonathan Swift was born in Dublin, Irish clergyman, satirist, and political writer, born in 1667, best known for Gulliver's Travel, and also we looked at some of his other writings in our travel across Ireland. He uses a mastery of travelogue format, uses its versatility, blending satire, fantasy, and moral inquiry all together into his beautiful works. Yeah, now into the cultural legacy, we have a lot of travelogues today that have been impacted. Many early travelogues used like maps and guidebooks that was actually used for future explorers as well. And this is a continued theme today. Although nowadays we have digital maps and stuff, travelogues can still be a way for which we can guide our travels in a foreign land. European powers also use travelogues to understand like potential trade routes and resources. And these first-hand accounts of travelers in foreign lands is still used in current day to gauge the trade and economic kind of openness of different regions and countries. Travelogues also inspired adventure novels, memoirs, and science fiction that continue to be of influence today. And yeah, travel writing continues to expand beyond exploration. It evolves into personal reflections, cultural critique, and dialogue and artistic storytelling as well. And yeah, it laid the foundation for a lot of different literary genres, including books like Robinson Crusoe and Treasure Island by Jules Verne and H.G. Wells, for example, that continue to inspire real travelers to go on different travels, right? These writers use travelogues to craft imaginary journeys into the unknown, especially like Gulliver's Travels, and modern travel books like Paul Theroux's The Great Railway Bazaar blend introspection with personal experiences and travel dialogue. And so these different ideas became a literary motif that serves as a highly influential journey of discovery, both externally and internally. There are also a lot of modern adaptations. We have currently travel blogging, like we have YouTube and Instagram that allow modern travelers to go all the way to Greece, for example, document their experiences in real time, show us what they eat there, what the weather's like, how the people is like, all that different ideas, right? We have documentaries and TV shows like Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown, that bring cultural storytelling into the visual realm. We also have fictional travel narratives like books like Eat, Pray, and Love that explore personal transformations through travel. And yeah, even fantasy epics like J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings draw on from kind of travelogue tradition, using descriptions of landscapes, cultures, and quests. It's like, oh, welcome to the land of the unknown. Like, let's look at all of these different culture, all these different people. Let's look at the hobbits, the ogres. And these evolutions continue to, in whether in print or digital media, continue to remain a powerful storytelling tool for all of us. Yeah, so we looked at travelogues and why they matter, how they continue to influence us. We looked at some ancient explorers and even to modern bloggers, how they continue to shape our understanding of the world, how they influence literature, and how they have fueled the human spirit for adventure for all these different centuries. Because literature impacts people, and people impact literature. These two work together as a society, work in very delicate symmetry that really cannot be detailed into causation, but definitely the spirit of adventure is captured in literature, and that in turn gave rise to more spirits of adventure in society. And yeah, so these continue to capture personal journeys, historical moments, and cultural exchanges across different regions. They inspire explorations and curiosities about the unknown, and they blend reality with storytelling. And it continues to shape both history and fiction. Yeah, so even in an age of instant global access, the travelogue remains relevant, proving that the need to explore, document, and share experiences is always going to remain timeless. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching this presentation. I hope this was a lens through which you can deepen your appreciation for travelogues and their lasting impact on literature and storytelling. It's really a fascinating topic to look at, and it's really a lot closer to us, I guess, than a lot of the things that we looked at. But travelogues in print, in a lot of cases, have been on the decline. It is not well known to us that actual travels were logged down in diaries back in the old days in writing, and we're more familiar with video types or kind of fictions about this. And I hope this gave you kind of an appreciation of how travelogues originated, how they changed and shifted according to each society, and how it impacted the people in each society and era throughout the ages. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this was a way to fill your curiosity, that you continue to stay curious about this topic. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome day, and bye.